Hello, everyone. It's Brenda Douglas, your self love and happiness coach, and I help people fall in love with themselves and live a happy and fulfilling life. Before we get started, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel for more ways that you can create happiness, for self love and self care tips, positive thinking techniques, stress remedies, and ways that you can become a better version of yourself. In this video, I'm going to be sharing the definition of self-love, and then also I'm going to give you some ways that you can practice self-love, okay? But before we get started, let me go ahead and give you your self-care tips and your journal prompts, okay? So we have 3 self-care tips and 3 journal prompts, okay? Let's start with the self-care tips. Buy yourself, look, with Valentine's Day coming up, guys, be sure that in the midst of you buying everybody else gifts, don't forget to buy yourself something, okay? Treat yourself. Buy yourself some chocolate, some flowers, or a gift. And listen, this is whether you're in a relationship or not, okay? Treat yourself. Okay, that's the first self-care tip. And the other one is to be kind to others, guys. It costs you nothing to smile. It costs you nothing to say hello when someone says hello to you, or smile back when somebody smiles at you. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it makes you feel good. Give compliments freely. Also, give compliments without motive, let me say. And then also be patient and be nice, okay? Those things cost you nothing, and yet you feel so good. Sometimes when you're not so nice to people, you can feel so guilty and so like you're just the worst person ever. It's self-sabotaging, okay? So be kind to others. You never know what someone is going through, okay? So be kind to others at all times, okay? And then your third self-care tip is for you to donate items that you don't use anymore, okay? Especially in the midst of this pandemic, there's so many people who have lost their jobs. Guys, it would be so helpful. I love bargain shopping. Let me tell you, it would be so helpful if you would donate items that you don't use anymore, because the thrift store sells those things for very cheap. I could get sweaters for less than $10, sometimes even less than 5 sweaters, okay? So donate your items to the thrift store. One person's junk is another person's treasure, okay? And you will be really blessing people by just donating items that you don't need anymore. You don't have to necessarily donate to a thrift store. You can also just give the clothes to other people. You notice that they might wear the same size as you or close to your size. So just ask them if it would be okay if you can donate it to them. Some people would think of that as such a blessing, okay? So donate items that you do not use anymore, okay? Now on to your journal prompts, okay? So go ahead and grab your journals. Okay, the first journal prompt is, I deserve love because. Journal prompt number 2, what is the biggest struggle with loving yourself? And journal prompt number 3, name a thing that you love about your body, and then the thing that you love about your personality. So let me read those things again. Journal prompt number 1 is, I deserve love because. What is your biggest struggle with loving yourself? Name a thing that you love about your body, and then a thing that you love about your personality. Okay, so now what is self-love? Self-love is when someone has a high regard for themselves. So self-love is having a high regard for oneself. It is loving who you are despite your flaws, okay? Self-love is taking actions. They're the actions that you take every day to show yourself love, okay? Self-love is taking the time to honor and to value who you are. Self-love is refusing to tolerate poor treatment or abuse. Okay, self-love is taking the time to understand who you are today and then investing in yourself for a better future. Okay, self-love again must be practiced every day. Okay, so let me just tell you what self-love is not. Self-love is not vanity, it is not selfishness, it is not being conceited, narcissistic, egotistical. Okay, and it is not being self-absorbed. Okay, I'm going to tell you now some ways that you can practice love every day so that you can grow into honoring yourself, because again, it needs to be practiced every day. Okay, so here's some ways that you can practice self-love. So you can begin by asking yourself some hard questions, okay? And then listen, be completely honest with your answers, okay? Self love requires you to know yourself and then, of course, love yourself. You begin to love yourself because you know yourself. And then you begin to elevate yourself because you have the confidence to do so. And then you teach other people how to treat you, okay? But the first step is for you to ask yourself some hard questions, okay? And these questions can be like, what do you like about yourself? In what ways can you improve? Who do you need to forgive? Okay, because sometimes some people experience traumas. They've experienced, abuse. And so that all of that affects self-love, okay? So you have to honestly ask yourself these questions. Who do I need to forgive and for what or why? Okay? Who do I need to forgive and why? Because sometimes unforgiveness could be blocking your ability to love yourself, okay? So the other question you want to ask yourself is, what makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you angry, What regrets do you have about your life? Okay, so I want you to start by answering those questions, okay? That's the first step for you right now, okay? So let me read those questions to you again. What do I like about myself? In what ways can I improve? Who do I need to forgive and why? What makes me happy, sad, and angry? What regrets do I have about my life? Okay, so you're going to go ahead and start by answering those questions. And now listen, I know that some of these questions may not be easy for you to answer, especially the one about the forgiveness. There are so many people who have been victims, and so I know that it's not easy, but at the same time, you have to get through it, okay? Because you have to get through it in order to completely love yourself, okay? So you're going to answer these questions because listen, love begins with you, and it begins with being honest about who you are, okay? Love begins with you. And listen, that is so true. Love begins with you because until you love yourself unconditionally, you cannot freely love other people, guys. You just can't. Okay, you cannot love other people freely. When you love yourself, you can forgive yourself, and for others, when you love yourself, you won't tolerate abusive and toxic relationships, okay? In fact, you will attract someone who will love and respect and value you, or you will have the courage to walk away because you know that it's foreign to you, okay? Because you don't love yourself that way, okay? When you love yourself, you approve of who you are, okay? So then you don't look for approval and a validation from other people, okay? Because you love yourself, so that's enough. You don't need approval from other people, okay? When you love yourself, you are free to become a better version of yourself, okay? And you become a powerful force to be reckoned with. Why? Because you are free to grow, you are free to love others, you are free to progress, you are free to be you. Okay? Someone once said that your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship that you have, okay? And that is absolutely true. Okay, and here are some more ways that you can practice self love. Okay, start each day by telling yourself something really positive. Okay, I'm going to have a wonderful day. Today is going to be a fabulous day. I'm going to meet some wonderful people today. So start your day by saying something positive. Okay, every day. Let's make it a challenge to do that every day. Okay, look in the mirror and say, I love you, and then say your name. And listen, I want you to do that 3 times. Look in the mirror. Now, listen, when you do this, when you first start doing it, you are going to be your worst critic, okay? I remember when I first did it, and I'm going to do a video about the mirror exercise, but you're going to look in the mirror, okay? When I first did it, I was, you find everything that's wrong with you, and it's sometimes hard to do it. Sometimes, ironically, it's hard to even tell yourself, I love you. It's easy to tell other people, but sometimes it may be harder to tell yourself, I love you. Okay, so I want you to do that. I want you to look in the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror. When the negative thoughts come up, when the inner critic comes up, I want you to shut it down, okay? And refuse to think about it, okay? Refuse to think about moles on your face or, bags under your eyes. Refuse to think about those things. And I want you to look in the mirror, clear your mind, and I want you to say, I love you, and then say your name. And I want you to do this 3 times every day, okay? I love you, Brenda. I love you, so and so. Okay, say I love you and then say your name. Okay, the other thing I want you to do is listen, always strive to make your thoughts work for you and not against you. Okay, I'm not saying that you should live in a false sense of reality, with the false sense of reality, but what I am saying is sometimes a lot of times, all the time, we can control what we think. Okay, so instead of assuming the worst, you're going to assume positive intent, okay? So you want to make your thoughts work for you and not against you, okay? In fact, when the thought comes up, the first thing you need to ask yourself is this thought working for me or is it working against me, okay? If it is working against you, meaning it's making you angry, it's making you sad, it's making you doubt, then you need to change your thought, okay? You have the power to control your thoughts. You have the power to control your mind, so you're going to change the thought, okay? The other thing I want you to do is understand that other people's opinion of you may be different from yours, okay? And that's okay. It's okay to disagree, as I say, okay? Understand that their opinions may be different, but it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you or that there's something wrong with them, okay? Understand that everybody has a different normal, okay? Everybody has a different normal. Someone else's normal may not be the same as yours, but you have to decide if that normal is healthy for you and who you are, okay? And then, make the decision or the adjustment accordingly, okay? Don't waste your time. Listen, it's a waste of time to compare yourself to others. Why? Because you are a designer original, okay? There's no one else like you. There's no one else before you. Now sometimes people compare lifestyles even. Listen, don't get into that, okay? Because you don't know what they had to do to get that. And also, listen, sometimes in some cases, if you work just as hard, you can get the same thing, okay? But the main thing is you don't want to compare yourself to others, okay? Don't compare yourself to others because it is a waste of time. Why? Because there's only one of you now and one of you later. Always. There's only one you, okay? Forever and always. Okay, listen, get rid of toxic people who are in your life. And listen, I don't care if it is a family member. Let me tell you, sometimes I go over people's house and I give myself a time. I say, okay, as soon as they start going off to the left, it's time for me to go. And then there's some folks that I just love. from a distance. I cannot be around them because the energy is so toxic by the time I leave. I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling sad, like my emotions are all over the place. And I'm sure that some of you guys have experienced the same thing. Listen, some folks, again, you have to love them from a distance, because the truth be told, especially as it relates to family, you can't choose your family. Okay, and to be honest with you, some of you wouldn't even deal with your family if they weren't family, okay? Because some of them, like if some of your family members were out in the streets, you probably wouldn't even deal with them, okay? And it's okay. It's okay for you to love them from a distance, especially if they are toxic to you and your future, okay? So get rid of toxic folks, whether they are family or not, and love them from a distance, okay? Learn the art of saying no. And there are different types of ways that you can say no. You can say, I'm not available right now, and I'm sorry I'm not able to do that. I'm sorry I have other plans. There are different ways that you can do it. The main thing is, please don't overcommit, because then you feel angry with yourself. You feel frustrated. So say, I'm not able to do it. Or if you don't feel like doing it, you're not obligated to do it. You have to learn to say no in some cases, okay? And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person, okay? It does not mean that you're a bad person when you say no, okay? It means that you are setting boundaries, okay? And you expect them to respect it, okay? Surround yourself with people who celebrate you and not tolerate you, okay? You shouldn't be around people who they feel some kind of way when you come around them, okay? Your friends should embrace you, your family should embrace you. And if not, again, go where you are celebrated and not where you are tolerated. Limit your time with that person, or don't be around them at all, okay? Know that you don't have to agree with other people's opinion of you. Ooh, I love that one. You don't have to agree with other people's opinion of you, okay? Eleanor Roosevelt, she's had a quote. It is no one can make you feel inferior without your consent, okay? If you don't agree with someone's opinion or somebody's comment, their derogatory comment, there's no need in you getting upset, okay? You don't have to agree with everybody's opinion of you, okay? Feed your body with healthy foods, guys. Salads. Oh my goodness. Salads. Eating healthy, guys. Make it a goal to eat healthy foods. Even if if you're not used to salads, give it a shot one time, and then make it a rule to maybe do salads. If not, every day of the week, and switch up the meats. Maybe you can do it 3 times a week, or maybe 2 times a week, and things of that nature. So just do it. It's okay to do the right thing, okay? It's okay to do something good for yourself without feeling guilty, okay? So you're going to start drinking more water and just eating healthier foods, fruits and vegetables, lots of vegetables, okay? Fish, lots of fish, and there's a list that you can get of healthy foods, but start eating some healthy foods, okay? Stay away from eating out at restaurants all the time. Have a home cooked meal and eat more vegetables than you do anything else on the menu or what have you. Okay? Forgive yourself and forgive others. Now, this one is easier said than done. And sometimes we say, I'm all right, I'm good. But deep down inside, that thing is festering, guys. You have to get to the root of this forgiveness thing. You have to, in some instances, you have to pray or get prayed over in order to be able to forgive someone. I remember there was a time when I was so angry that I wanted, I had a hard time forgiving someone. I wanted them to drop dead right where they stand. Like, I've never felt that way about anybody. And so, it's a process, and sometimes it'll take time for you to forgive the person because they've hurt you so bad, okay? But you must do it in order to be free, and in order to be a better version of yourself, and in order to love yourself freely and allow other people to love you, okay? So you must forgive yourself and you must forgive others, okay? Be patient with yourself and with others. Have you ever been in a grocery store line and it's someone ahead of you? They're taking a long time getting the change out of their pocket, or they're just taking a long time at the register, okay? Then when your turn, so you're impatient, right? Because they're taking a long time. But then when it's your turn, you just take your sweet time. You just take your time and you're okay with it. Okay, listen, be patient with yourself and then be patient with others. That's a continuous work in progress. That whole patient thing. I can do a whole video, and I think I will do a video about being patient with others and being patient with yourself. Patience also begins with you, okay? So be patient with yourself so that you can be patient with others, okay? And then practice makes perfect. Ask yourself, okay, wait a minute. If that was me at the front of the line or at the register, I would want other people to be patient with me. So I'm going to show the things. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be patient for them or towards them because I want someone to be patient with me. Okay, same thing with forgiveness. We always want people to forgive us. We want people to forgive us because we all make mistakes. No one's perfect, okay? So you have to forgive other people. Um, you have to be patient with, you have to forgive other people and forgive yourself, okay? And then the same thing, you want them to forgive you, so that'll make it a little easy for you to forgive them. That'll make it a little easy for you to be patient with them because you want them to be patient with you, okay? Listen, be open to receiving love from any and everyone. I don't care what race they are. I don't care what status they are, what their title is. Be open to receiving love from everyone, okay? And then you'll never feel like you're running out. You'll never feel like nobody loves you. Be open to receiving love from everyone, okay? Find something to be grateful for. Listen, every day you should be thinking about something to be grateful for. You feel yourself getting frustrated. You feel yourself getting frustrated or feeling like you don't have something. Remember something, think about something to be grateful for. For example, right now in this pandemic, a lot of you still have your jobs, okay? You may not like going to that job, but at the same time, you have a paycheck coming in. At the same time, you have a paycheck coming in so that you can have a home to sleep in, okay? Or a bed to sleep in, a home to live in, okay? Be grateful. Every day, think of something to be grateful for. You wake up in the morning, oh, I thank you. I thank you that I can breathe. I thank you that I am living. I thank you that I have breath in my lungs, okay? So every day, you want to think of something to be grateful for, okay? Listen, train your mind to look for the light at the end of the tunnel in every situation. Being optimistic, okay? Being optimistic is I don't want to say it's a challenge, but it's a constant work in progress. Some tragedies are it's very hard to find the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, for example, death, especially now, again, with this pandemic and so many people suddenly falling ill and dying. Of course, and dying. So you want to train your mind to look for the light at the end of the tunnel. Perhaps their death means no more suffering. Like, you have to train your mind to look for the light at the end of the tunnel so you're not so devastated. Now, I'm not saying that stuff like death won't hurt you. That is an absolute lie. It will hurt you. But at the same time, again, train your mind to look for the light at the end of the tunnel so that you can carry on with your life, okay? And that's just one example, the death. That's any situation. Train your mind to look for the light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Remember that wanting better doesn't mean that you think that you're better than anyone else, okay? In fact, no one is better than anyone else. So let me read that again. Remember that wanting better doesn't mean that you think that you're better than anyone else. You just want better at things in life, and you shouldn't have to feel guilty about that, okay? Even in the way you present yourself, okay? Even in the way you present yourself, the way you talk, the way you walk. Wanting better does not mean that you think that you are better. So don't let someone try to convince you of that. And also don't feel guilty about it, because you and I both know no one is better than another, okay? And if you don't know, now you do. Be conscious of what you think, feel, and want, okay? One of the things I've learned is that negative thoughts always pop up. Somebody walk in a room and a negative thought will pop up out of nowhere, okay? Listen, it is your responsibility to change that thought to something positive, okay? You again have the power to control your thoughts, so be conscious, be careful about what you think, what you feel, what you want. When the negative thoughts come up, then you need to change them so that they are positive. And this helps you to be more pleasant to other people. It helps you to be a pleasant person, okay? Deliberately look for the good in others. Listen, everybody has something good about them, okay? But you have to deliberately look for the good. Deliberately look for the good in others, not the bad, the good. Deliberately look for the good in others and then focus on that thing, okay? So that you can learn to get along with other people, so that you will enjoy the company of other people, okay? Listen, write down your thought. These are some ways that you guys can practice self-love. Write down your thoughts. Sometimes the mind can be so overwhelmed with things that you have to do, places that you have to go. You're thinking about, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. Listen, write it down and release it from your brain, okay? Write the things down so that you're not overwhelmed, so that you're not snapping at people whenever they're talking to you in the midst of you thinking about things. So write down your thoughts, okay? Be careful not to poison your body with excessive drinking and drugs and smoking, okay? Be careful not to poison your body, okay? Listen, do something good for other people, okay? Do a random act of kindness. Do something good for others. That makes you feel so great. I used to volunteer a whole lot before this pandemic. So do something good for others. It is still not too late. You can do, there are still things that you can do in the community, okay? Make a list of some wonderful things about you, okay? Make a list of some great things about you. Now, one of the things I challenge people to do is to make a list of 100 wonderful things about you. 100. Now, listen, you may or may not get to the 100, but I want you to strive for it, okay? Because this will really, really force you to have to think about who you are and what are the good things that you have to offer to yourself and to society, okay? So you're going to make a list of 100 wonderful things about you, okay? Get 8 hours of sleep. Oh my goodness, get 8 hours or more of sleep, okay? And guys, listen, when you don't, some of you don't work on the weekends. Listen, sleep in late, lay in the bed, just listen to the birds, just relax, Manage your stress is another one. I don't have that up here, but manage your stress, okay? And then practice meditation, practice quieting your mind control. You may want to listen to some, again, meditation. You may want to listen to some HZ frequency music. Just learn to quiet your mind, okay? Smile. That says a whole lot. Smiling will not only make you feel good, but it will also make people around you feel good, okay? I remember, there was a time when I was feeling really, really down. I can't recall what happened, but I was feeling so down. And at the time I was taking the bus, and so I was walking, and I just so happened to look up, and somebody just out of the blue smiled. So I kept walking. I smiled back, of course, but then I kept walking, and then somebody else smiled. And it was almost like God was saying to me, it's going to be all right. It's not as bad as you think. or you will get through it. Like, smiling is a ministry, guys. Smiling is a ministry. Smile at people, okay? Smile, okay? Also, try something new. Take up a dance class, cooking, or yoga. Right now in this pandemic, I go on YouTube and I try to find dance routines because I'm not really into exercise, so to speak, but I love to dance. And so what I do is I look for a dance exercise, and that helps me to get my exercise in. Okay, so try something new. Okay, keep your space cluttered. One of the things I've learned is that it can make you frustrated when your area is not clean, when your area is cluttered, because you just, I don't know, it's like you can't think clearly, okay? So keep your space clutter free, clutter free. Give everything its own home, okay? Even if you have to buy storage bins and things of that nature, keep your space clutter free. Now, yeah, keep your space clutter free, okay? Practice clean hygiene, guys. Take showers, take baths, soak in a hot bathtub with the smelly balls and things of that nature. Even when you are working from home, even when you are not planning on going anywhere, taking a nice hot shower makes you feel so good, and it just recharges me. It makes me feel so good. Okay, so practice good hygiene. Okay, and then silence the inner critic in your head. Again, we've already talked about this. When you're looking in the mirror or otherwise, silence it, okay? And remind yourself that you are not perfect. You will make mistakes, but you will get it right when you keep practicing, okay? So silence the inner critic in your head and be careful of the thoughts that you think. Remember, make your thoughts work for you and not against me, okay? Against you, okay? Make your thoughts work for you and not against you. Sorry about that, guys. Listen, self love is a necessity, okay? And it must be practiced every single day, okay? So listen, make the commitment to love and to honor yourself, okay? So that other people will follow your lead, and so that your life will have more meaning, and you will be able to make a positive contribution to society. Listen, I hope that this video has been helpful to you, okay? If so, guys, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to this channel, okay? Listen, love begins with you. And life doesn't have to be perfect to be filled with happiness, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I am Brenda Douglas, your self-love and happiness coach, reminding you to always strive for excellence without apology or permission. Thank you so much for watching.